All right, welcome everybody back to the Cowboy Slot Channel Real Talk episode number 5. This is February 10th. I know we're doing a Real Talk on a Saturday. The reason we're doing the Real Talk on the Saturday, obviously, we got Super Bowl tomorrow. So I know a lot of people are going to be watching Super Bowl. So I figured, why not just have the live stream on Saturday instead of tomorrow? Because I know a lot of people will be busy tomorrow. I thought about not having one tomorrow, but, we'll just have it today. So welcome everybody. If this is your first time to the live stream, this is an open Q&A. You can ask any question that you'd like. I do try to get through as many of those questions as I possibly can. But if we do happen to miss your question, you can always use our website, which has a free chat forum that's open 24/7. It's at ropethejackpot.com/chat. So welcome to everybody in here. And we're already starting out with the super chat here. $10 from Flow State Motto Ride Free. Thank you very much for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. The super chats, super stickers are really helpful to the channel. So really do appreciate you. Let's see. Your question is on a 9 line triple double dollar slot machine, can I lower the volatility by playing a single line bet line? Also, does volatility change with the bet amount? So, the first part of that, you would actually lower the volatility by playing more lines, not less. So, the volatility does become a little bit lower when you are playing more lines. That's one thing, kind of a general key about any slot machine. The more lines you're playing, it's going to lessen the volatility by a little bit just because you're going to be getting more consistent line hits. So, the first part, just reverse that, so more lines is actually less in volatility, and the volatility is really not going to change with the bet amount. There's very few games out there where volatility changes with the bet amount, so it's not really going to change anything with that. It's volatility again. It's all about the design of the game, how the game is designed to play out. So um, there's a couple games out there that it might change a little bit, but those are usually clearly labeled. I know there's some buffaloes out there and stuff that if you bet higher, it changes it a little bit, and so on and so forth. But that's all going to be labeled in the game rules. So again, thank you very much for your super chat. Really do appreciate it. And best of luck to you. Question here from Paul Andrews. Question on an HHR machine. What exactly can you explain? What exactly happens when you hit the spin button? Was the outcome predetermined? Is the volatility the same as a class 3 slot? So this is actually a really, really good question, Paul. And it's one that actually has a very, very lengthy, in-depth answer to it. So I'm going to try to make this kind of in a nutshell because we could actually sit here for like an hour and just talk on this topic, which we'll have some more HHR videos coming in the future for you guys. Um, but in a nutshell, with HHR, again, for those of you out there watching that don't know, it's historic horse racing. So instead of playing, it's on a normal slot machine, you're playing you versus the slot machine. On HHR, you're playing you versus a pool of people. So you're actually playing for a prize pool. So when you're hitting the spin button, your money is going into a prize pool and it's sitting there to be, played with by other people that are also playing other games. Within the parimutuel network. So essentially what happens is when you hit that spin button, it's going to issue out a random selection of horses to run a prehistoric horse race. So essentially, rather than using a random number generator, it's using historic horse racing data. So it's basically just essentially a different form of randomness. It still is providing the same randomness that a normal slot machine would, just in a different way. Um, Volatility on it's going to be, again, you're not playing the machine, you're playing other people. So there's a different factor there. So you really can't, kind of like with bingo machines, you really can't use volatility as a metric. Is there volatility? Yes, but for you as the player to determine it, it's not really a metric you can use because there's nothing really for you to physically look at because there's a lot of other variables in the picture other than just you versus the machine. But that is kind of a nutshell of it. HHR is really, really good. There's a lot of opportunities there with HHR. And we could sit there and we could sit and talk about this particular for over an hour because there's a lot of details that go into it. But thank you very much, Paul, for your question. I appreciate it. And yes, Ethan is here. For those of you that don't know, this is Ethan. He is my video editor here at Cowboy Slots. So he's sitting in with us today. So if you guys have any questions about videos or anything like that, Ethan's the man. And we got another super chat here, 9.99 from John. John, thank you very much for that. Is there a particular Cherries Jubilee that hits more than others at MGM? Love your channel. So the nice thing about Cherries Jubilee is all the math is going to be the same. Whether you're playing, the $1 version, the $2 version, or the $5 version, the math is pretty much the same. There's not one machine that's better than another. You pretty much have identical chances on any Cherries Jubilee machine that you are going to play. So, and it does not matter if the progressive is higher or not on those. You can sit down at a progressive that just hit and it can hit back to back. I've seen it happen multiple times. So, you can always hunt for the progressive that's higher because, hey, if you're going to get the progressive, you might as well get the higher one. But don't be afraid to sit down at some of the other ones too, because you're going to have identical chances on those. So thank you very much for that question and for your super chat. Really do appreciate it. Robin is here. Robin, thank you so much for being here. Happy Saturday, everyone. Like the color of the 2024 poker chip, Brantley. Hey, Cruisin, thanks for being a good mod. Well, thank you very much, Robin. Yes, today we just came out with a new color of poker chip. This is actually, well, it's not exactly a new color. We've had this color once before, but this is our saddle brown poker chip, and it even has a cool little wood background there. Sorry, it's not coming in focus. There we go. Ethan's helping out there. There we go, kind of. But it has a nice little wood grain background, and it even says 2024 on it. So that's something new that we're going to be doing is actually putting the year on the poker chip because there's a lot of people out there that like to collect them. These are in the shop right now, as well as a new swag pack is in the shop, and I'll even toss in something extra there just for this month. So if you guys order one of our Wyoming made shirts, or one of our Wyoming made shirts. So either the Here for the Bucks or the Rope the Jackpot shirt that's on our website. If you order one of those this month, I will toss in a free new 2024 poker chip with your order. So that's limited time for that. But yeah, check these out because they're in our shop. They're really cool looking. And Robin's also asking, Ethan, do you like to gamble?
Mm. I mean, that's a trick question in a way, because like I think it's enjoyable to watch and a lot of things, but it's just like I don't know if I have the money to risk it because I just don't usually have the higher budget if I were to even gamble to even just play for that. But on some smaller things with like $20 or $30, I like to do some entertainment once in a while.
Yeah, playing for fun. So
Yeah.
there you go. All right. Thank you, Robin, for that. All right, let's get through some of these questions again. Again, guys, welcome in. We're doing this live stream on Saturday. Glad all of you could make it in here. I wanted to try to get in a live stream this week, so I'm going to try to get through as many of these questions as we possibly can. Let's see. Gary has a question here. How does a casino camera room work? As in, do they focus in on a certain area? Is the casino is AI now involved to alert them? How many do they have normally monitoring them? Every casino is going to be very different on that. It's not a topic that we can cover in detail. Um, I can give you generals. Generally speaking, AI is not involved. It's really not. And every area is closely monitored, and that's all I can say about it. I can't say any more about it, but all of it is closely monitored. Carol says, has the online gambling affected the casino's bottom line? It seems like attendance is less than before at some casinos. No, not really. Casinos are always going to be a place where people like to go for the actual experience of it. I mean, it's a lot more fun to sit at a physical machine than it is to play on your phone at your house. There's just something about if you hit a jackpot, getting that cash right there, or cashing in your ticket or something like that. So online slots is not something that really is going to affect the bottom line of the casino. I don't think in any way. I mean, that of course might change in the future. We never know, but as of today, no, I wouldn't say it would affect anything. And Money Mike 499 super chat. Thank you very much, Money Mike, for that. Love the top dollar recommendation. Hit 7,500, then 1,800, literally 3 minutes later. That is awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that story. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Do machines have face recognition? No, they do not. Slot machines do not have face recognition in them whatsoever. And then Bit Webster says, do you play penny slots? If not, why not? So here's the thing. Penny slots are never really recommended for certain things, as long as you know what you're getting into whenever you play penny slots. So, if you're trying to build up your bankroll or if you're trying to like work towards something bigger, Like if you're like, okay, I want to take $100 and try to get that, up to that jackpot level, then don't start at a penny slot machine because that's not what the penny slot machine is really going to be good for. But if you walk into a casino and you have $100 and you're like, I'm just here to get a free drink and kill some time and spend time with some friends or whatever, that's when a penny slot would be good. Or if you're just playing a game for enjoyment, like let's say there's a new game that just came out and you're not exactly sure how it's going to play, and you're not sure if you want to play it at a higher level or if you want to play it at a higher denomination, you could play it at the penny level just to get an idea of the game and how to play it. Penny slots have their place, they do, but it's few and far between. Generally speaking, penny slots are not good for building up a bankroll, or like if you're really wanting to hit something or try to hit something or anything like that. Penny slots are more just there for entertainment. They are the biggest money maker for the casino, and they take in the most amount of money for the casino. And it's mostly, people will sit there and they'll just play and play and play and play, and they're trying to get something. But that's really not what penny slots are designed for. It's possible. It's always possible on any slot machine. Yes, you can win jackpots on penny slots, but it's just not very common to have that happen. So, do I play penny slots? The answer is sometimes. If I am going into the casino just to have fun or to relax, or there's a lot of times where we'll do videos here on this channel showcasing a game and we will showcase it at the penny level. Well, why is that? Because we're not trying to build up a bankroll. We're not trying to get a jackpot. We're just trying to see how the game plays and highlight it and see its different features and get an idea of it. So again, penny slots have their place. So do I play? Sometimes. All right. Give me a second. I'll get caught up on some of these questions here. Let's see. Deftones 22, welcome to the show. When is the best time of the year to travel to Vegas? Like a down period where it's slow, not busy, and the casinos offer more free things to get you to come and stay. This is more of a Dave question, but in my personal experience, and again, this is a personal opinion of mine, but I would say that the middle of the summer, I want to recall that the last time I was actually looking at something like this, that it was written down somewhere that the slowest times is in like July and August. Obviously, like months like January get very, very busy with conventions and stuff. So winter and fall gets really busy for conventions, obviously, and then you've got sporting events and all that. But the other thing too is Vegas is always changing. I mean, they've got Super Bowl, F1, all these things coming in that it's really kind of a constant change. But I think as of last, I think the slowest time in Vegas is going to be middle of the summer, like July, August. So, and that's going to be kind of, I guess, kind of their downtime, but they really don't have a true downtime where it's dead. The I've only ever been to Vegas once where it was completely cleared out and dead, and that was during COVID. Um, Other than that, it's uh, summer, midsummer. And again, that's personal opinion. Amanda says, "What is the difference between double diamonds and triple diamonds?" Heading to Vegas in a couple weeks, and I'm listing out all the lower volatile machines. So the biggest difference is on a regular. So compare. Let's compare a regular double diamond to a regular triple diamond. On a regular double diamond, you do not get paid if you just get a multiplier. So like if you get like a blank blank double diamond, you do not get paid. On a triple diamond, you do get paid if it's a triple. So if you get blank blank triple, if it's a 2 credit machine, you would get back 4 credits essentially. So that's probably the biggest difference. It does change up the math a little bit in the game. They're both still relatively low in volatility. They're both great games to play. I like both of them personally, but that is the biggest difference between those two. So best of luck to you on your Vegas trip. Really appreciate the question. Oh, John has a question here. Is there any new low volatile games being released in 2024? They are still being made. Yes. Mostly it's going to be remakes. So I know like even IGT they've come out with, which it's already out, it's just not very common, but they've actually brought back just regular double diamond. Nothing special, nothing different with the math, single line, regular double diamond in a new cabinet in their Diamond RS cabinet. So that's one of those things. So yes, as for new games, like brand new games that are coming out, that really I couldn't tell. I couldn't really say. I haven't really seen any that are like new. They're mostly remakes of those lower volatile games. I will say this though, some of the games, by the way, I got to give props to Light and Wonder. A lot of people, there was a question that came up that somebody was asking, "Hey, is there a website that you can go to that lists the volatility of games?" And short answer is no, there's not. But Light and Wonder has actually on their website, which by the way, Light and Wonder is the one that they make the Huff and More Puff, they make the new Quick Hits game, Quick Hits Explosion, stuff like that. They actually now have on their website, which I think this is new because I hadn't seen it before. But if you go onto Light and Wonder's website, it actually lists a scale of each of those games. Like when you're looking through the game list, it'll say low, medium, or high volatility. And it actually says that underneath the title. So that's something new that Light and Wonder has actually put on their website for their games. Um, but new games coming out with low in volatility, brand new, I don't really think there is anything brand new. I think it's mostly just remake titles. All right. Josh on Facebook says, I live in southern Utah and travel just across the state line to Mesquite. The main casino I play at has tons of dollar denom double diamonds and triple stars machines. Does this lower my chances of hitting in casinos like this? No, not at all. Not at all. The biggest thing to always remember, guys, is it is more the it is more focused when to be successful at slots. Your main focus needs to be on a your budget. Your budget is going to be 90% of your success, probably even higher than 90%. It's like 95% of your success is going to be your budget. And the second is going to be what kind of machine are you picking to go with that budget. Um, and because this is again, it's something where it's like if you go into the casino with $100, the recommendation is not going to be the same for somebody that goes into the casino with $10,000. It really has nothing to do with the actual casino itself or where the casino is at or anything like that. So no, your chances aren't going to be lower for hitting just because it's in Mesquite or anything like that. And Cruising with Thomas says on Every's website, they do list the volatility of some of the games there, and IGT does too. So this is actually something kind of new, which, um, prior to about a year or so ago, these weren't really listed ever. But I think manufacturers are becoming a lot more conscientious of this, and I think they're realizing that the general public now kind of has, the term of volatility is there, and they're kind of molding that into their websites and stuff to actually come out and say what the volatility range is. So that's something that is kind of new. I know Light and Wonder's doing it. It's cool that Every is doing it too, so thank you very much for mentioning that. Really do appreciate it. All right, let's see, gonna catch up here on some questions. Sue asks, what is the volatility of blazing sevens triple double jackpot nudge? That is a lot of words. um, it's new at the casino I got to. Thank you so much. So really kind of and actually I think somebody said this in here. Um, actually, yeah, Richard said it. Yeah, Richard actually took my response. He said, "General rule of thumb: the more words in the title, generally the higher in the volatility it's going to be." And really, that's true because anytime you add a, anytime that you add a feature, whatever that feature is, whether that is a nudge, whether that's a progressive, whether that's anytime that you start adding features or bonus rounds or multiple bonuses or bonuses and a bonuses, or it's going to add to that volatility. It's just going to add to it. So Richard is correct. I mean, now that particular game, honestly, so if it's the machine that I'm thinking of, I think in the broader spectrum, when you compare it to a lot of other games that are out there, I don't think it's as high. I would say it would be more middle of the range in the terms of volatility. But always look at your game rules, always look at your pay tables, stuff like that, and that will be able to give you a general idea of what that volatility is going to be. And always remember, volatility goes in tandem with your budget. So if you sit down and you play a game and you have only like 20 bucks or 100 bucks, it doesn't matter if it is the lowest volatile game in the world. it's going to feel like a higher in volatility game because you have a lower budget. But if you go into the casino and you're like, "Oh, I've got 20 grand to play," and you play a high volatile game like Dragon Link, it's going to feel like a lower in volatility game because you've got that budget to sustain. So always remember, volatility and budget go in tandem with each other. All right. Michael says, "Can you explain your recent answer that more lines reduces volatility?" Yes. So the thing is volatility essentially is, the risk versus reward. That's the easiest way to sum up volatility is the risk versus the reward. When you have more lines on a machine, you have the potential to get more hits, especially if that is what that game is designed for. So if you have let's say if you have a 5 line game, you now have 5 opportunities to hit something. Whereas if you just play that single line, you got one shot to hit something. So that is going to in terms lessen the volatility. Of course, then you get kind of it's almost like a bell curve in a way because you eventually get to a point where there's some games out there that don't have any lines at all, and that usually is an indication of it's a lot higher in volatility. So it's kind of a balance between the two. But generally speaking, the more lines, especially on a game like that was mentioned earlier, which was triple double dollars, or triple dollars, uh, game like that, like 5 line, 9 line, then yeah, it's going to lessen the volatility by having more of those lines available. So I hope that helps to kind of clear that up a little bit. But again, always read your game rules and always figure out what game it is that you're playing because that's going to be the biggest thing. Simon says, "I have had more hand pays and profit since I started listening to your advice. Above all else, you haven't been wrong in your advice. Thank you." Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And here's the thing: it's sensible. This is stuff that it seems very basic and straightforward. I think when as slot players, and I'm putting myself in this category too. As a slot player, as a gambler in general, you always want to, try to find out or figure out any way that you can possibly make the most amount of money. But the truth is it's not in tricking the slot machine. And that's what I think a lot of people get wrong is, people think, "Oh, if I just fast stop it at the right place, if I just take my card out, if I just cycle my ticket through, none of that crap works." It doesn't. The biggest thing is just you have to go back to the basics, go back to the foundation. And the foundation is number 1, your budget. Your budget is going to say everything because again, you're playing a game of math and you're playing a game with your money. So budget is everything when it comes to that. And then what a lot of people don't realize, and this is what we teach here on Cowboy Slots, is that different slot games are designed for specific budgets. This is a real thing. And we've said this in an episode before that we came out with. This is something that, you know what? A general slot player or somebody that has never been in the casino industry would have absolutely no clue that that is how it is. When they design these games, they're thinking of what what is the average bet level going to be for this game? What are we targeting? That is when you design a slot machine, it's designed for what are we targeting? You're not just targeting everybody. So a lot of these games, especially the games that are really flashy and really fun, and a lot of them, yeah, they're super fun. Like Huff and More Puff. It's a really fun game. They did a phenomenal job at that game, but but they did that to pull the most amount of people in, but the fact is that game was designed for somebody with a higher budget. And I know a lot of times, you might watch videos on YouTube of, different creators that'll play like Huff and More Puff, for example, or Piggy Bankin', and you're like, "Wow, these people are winning all the time." Well, yeah, because they have a budget of like $20,000. So of course they're going to, because that's what it's designed for. But the average person that doesn't have that budget of 10, $20,000, don't touch it. It's not made for you. So that's a big thing that we teach here on Cowboy Slots. So I'm glad you're doing better. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate that. Very much so. And hey, we got a $5 super chat here from St. Miles. Thank you so much for that. For Ethan, what type of system and software does he use for his editing?
Um, so I've used multiple, but currently I'm using a Mac, and then I'm using Premiere Pro, which is like a Adobe software, like people like Photoshop. It's their specific video editing software. But I have used Windows in the past. I use a lot of those interchangeably, but my main software I've used for probably about 6 years now has been Premiere Pro, primarily.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, St. Miles. Really do appreciate it. Let's see here. I suggested a YouTuber to your channel today for their incorrect demands on a machine they were playing. It I wasn't ugly, but good grief, folks need to know about your knowledge. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, word of mouth is the best thing. It really is. And there's it comes down to, again, it's just there's a lot of stuff out there that it seems so basic. Everybody is always looking for an easy way or a way to trick the machine, or that they're wanting to learn a trick. They're not wanting to learn a proper strategy, and the proper strategy starts with you as the player. That's the biggest thing. I always say this, and I've said this in a couple of videos, and it's very true. Slot machine strategy is not about controlling the machine. It's about controlling yourself. So if you can control yourself, then you can be successful at slots. And these are the ways to do it. So yeah, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Let's see, Rosemary, how is free play calculated? Is it based on the amount of money that you play through the machines? Good question. So the thing is with free play calculation, it is very casino specific. Every property does it different. Some people do it based on Theo. Some people do it on the terms of your visit. So MGM, for example, MGM in Las Vegas, they tend to run on about a 3 month cycle with evaluating your free play. If you go to the casino, if you live in Vegas and you're going to an MGM property regularly, you're actually going to get less free play and less benefits. Their free play, they try to target people that have long gaps in their stays. So, like if you come to MGM in January and you drop $30,000 in coin in, and then they don't see you for 6 months, well, then they're going to sweeten the pot, and that offer is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because they want you to come back. But if you're going to a casino every single day and you're just a local, um, then your offers are going to be less because they know they already have you. There's some casinos out there that do that. Um, I've known a couple that for locals, obviously, they have your driver's license, that your address and stuff like that. The closer you are to the casino, and again, this is not every casino, by the way. Every casino has a very different way of calculating it. So your casino might calculate this completely different. This is only a couple of methods that I've seen. But there are some casinos out there where the closer in proximity that you live to the casino and the more frequent you visit, they're actually going to give you less because they already know that they have you. So why entice you to, continue to come when they know you're going to come anyway? So that's one metric. And then again, it depends on a lot of different factors involved, but every casino is different with that calculation. But good question. Thank you very much for that. All right. Let's see. Cody says, "Do you recommend staying at the same machine after hitting a hand pay? I was playing a double diamond high limit slot at $25 a spin and was pondering if it affected." So it's not going to affect it. Every spin on a slot machine is independent. It's random. It's a separate event. Slots do not, from a program aspect, slots do not get hot or cold. It might feel like it sometimes, and it does. I mean, trust me, we've all been there. I mean, y'all saw the last video that I just uploaded with the pinball and the triple diamond. That we got wrecked on pinball that day. And pinball's my all-time favorite game, and we put 300 bucks into that machine. We didn't get anything whatsoever. We got wrecked on it. But when we had first arrived, we were playing it, and we actually, we did really, really well on it. We don't record all the time, guys. So a lot of times, like we'll record a couple times, and then I'll go play elsewhere, or I'll play like before we check in or something like that. And it was doing really good. So it can feel like it sometimes, but no, the machine does not get hot or cold. What I like to do, this is what I like to do. So this is kind of a me personal tip, honestly. So what I do is I always factor into how am I doing for the trip, or how am I doing for the day. So like let's say for example, if it is day 1 and I just got to the casino and I happen to hit a jackpot, right away. Let's say I put $500 into the machine and 2 spins in, I hit a jackpot. Well, I had already planned on losing that full 500. So me personally, I would pocket the jackpot and then I might continue to play. Now, reverse it. If we're down to like our last spin or, last couple spins, not much left in the machine or whatever, and you happen to get a lucky jackpot, I'd cash out. I'd go do something different. I'd, take a break, go eat, go do something, go to the bar, get a drink, do something different. If it's your last day, maybe if you're gambling on your last day of your trip, maybe just take the win and be like, "Hey, I'm up. I'm going home with this," and cash out and bounce out. So it's really that's what I like to do is I like to evaluate where am I at for the trip, where am I at for the day, where am I at with my budget. That's what I like to do when deciding if I'm going to stay at a machine or not. And of course, if you're having fun, if you're having fun, why not? Let's see. Kevin B, thank you so much for that. Yes, for those of you just now joining us, we have brand new saddle brown poker chips that even have this cool little wood grain background, and they have the year 2024 on it. Those are available in the shop now, as well as some new swag packs, which are really really fun. So you get kind of a little discount if you buy a swag pack because it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. And as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I'm only going to do it for this month. But if you order one of our new shirts, our here for the Bucks or our rope the jackpot starting with this live stream, I will toss in a one of these chips with your order. So check those out on our shop. I appreciate that, Kevin, for posting that. Thank you. $50 super chat here from Michael D. Thank you very much for that. Guys, again, the super chats, super stickers, they are really helpful and I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. I've learned so much. Thank you very much for being here, for being a viewer, and for your super chat. We appreciate it very much so. Let's see. Is it Sunday? No, it's not. Hey, Super Bowl is tomorrow. A lot of people are going to be out watching the Super Bowl. Hey, by the way, let's do something fun right now. Everybody leave in the comments who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Ethan, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Uh,
Chiefs or 49ers?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay. I say the Chiefs too. I'm going to say the Chiefs, but that's also because I bet on the Chiefs. So so let me know in the comments who let's see who gets the most, Chiefs or 49ers. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Doug says so RNG knows if you play 5 lines it'll give you a jackpot on line 9 by design. So it's not really the RNG that's doing that. It's the RNG is just the picking mechanism for the pay table. It's picking something off the pay table. Each denomination is going to have its own assigned pay table. So uh, this is going to sound really crappy, but the thing is if you're this is why if it's like for example, let's look at pinball double gold. Double gold pinball, it's 9 lines. If you were to play 5 credits and you get the red 7, double red 7, double red 7, double red 7 on line 9, it would have hit there anyway. If you hit that button at the exact same time, it would have hit there anyway. So yeah, you would have had it. So on some games, you got to be real careful to make sure that you're playing all available lines. The RNG doesn't change anything based on how many lines you're playing you know, on a game that like pinball double golds for so to speak. The RNG itself doesn't change on that. Dawn says, I'd like to hear your opinion on luxury liner. I believe it is very volatile. You are correct. It is. The very first time I played it, I cleaned up. It's been slow ever since. Super fun when you hit the trains, though. And a lot of these higher that's the problem. A lot of these higher volatile games are a lot of fun. I will say this, and maybe we'll do a video on it because it's a lot of fun. We have a video on it in the library. I believe Mark had played it, but it was Huff and More Puff. Huff and More Puff is a fun game. It is a fun game. Don't get me wrong, but it is very, very volatile. It's got a bumpy ride. I mean, you're gonna hit those swings up and down and up and down. That's what they're designed for. That's a higher volatile game. But yes, it is very volatile. Fun, but very volatile. If you are going to play it, just play it within your budget and know what you're getting into. Set yourself a stopping point. Set yourself a point saying, hey, if I make X amount of money, I'm gonna cash this out. Or if I get down to X amount, I'm gonna cash that out. That's how you play a higher in volatility game. Cheap slots and cheap gambling. Any plans yet for Foxwoods in the horizon? Was hoping you would have been a surprise guest during NJ Slot Channel's gathering last month. I could not make it because when that event was going on, I was already in Vegas and I was already scheduled to be in Vegas, so I could not attend. Maybe I will attend the next time that they have an event, but yeah, I couldn't attend this year. As for anything on the plans right now, nothing on the plans right now. All right, let's see who's winning the Super Bowl. Really, a lot of people on here for 49ers. A lot of people cruising with Thomas, Taylor Swift. Lot of people on here saying for 49ers. Hey, Stuart says Reba. Good old Reba. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people on here say Niners. Look at that. Hey, Barry's with me though. Chiefs are going to win. We'll go for the Chiefs. All right. Amanda has a non-slot question here. Favorite whiskey. My favorite whiskey, I drink a lot of Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is probably going to be my favorite, which this is really really cool. So one thing that I loved, this was awesome. So when we stayed at the Wendover Nugget in West Wendover, I believe they were having a deal where on Fridays you got like a 6 pack of Coke and a bottle of Jack Daniels. Obviously, we were there in the middle of the week, um, but they saw that, because when I was getting a drink, I would get a Jack and Coke, and I randomly came up to my room and they had a whole giant bottle of Jack Daniels and a 6 pack of Coke sitting in my room. Just total surprise. I was like, that is really cool. Like that was awesome. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, Jack Daniels. I also do like Crown. Crown is good too. Let's see. Stephanie says, I've been playing slots for 40 years and have hit only one jackpot for 1400. I am cursed with bad luck. Ouch. Well, I wouldn't, the thing is, I mean, yeah, like we all have bad luck. Trust me. I mean, that's part of slots. You're either going to be lucky or you're not going to be lucky. I mean, that's a big thing with it. But if it's been 40 years and you've only hit one jackpot, I would start looking at changing things up. Like, what machines are you playing for what budget? And any budget can be workable. You don't, we don't want you to think that you have to go into the casino with thousands and thousands of dollars in order to be successful. Guys, there are people that have gone into the casino with 20 bucks and they've hit the mega bucks before. It is possible. It's a far shot, but it's possible. You just need to really evaluate what kind of games you're playing. That's the biggest thing, is what kind of games are you playing for that, and kind of get yourself in check with that. That would be the biggest thing, that I would say. Another $50 super chat here from St. Miles. Thank you so much for that. You guys are rocking it with the super chats tonight. Really do appreciate it. Have a glass of Johnny Walker Blue on me. Thank you very much. I will have to do that. And Bobby Earl gifted 5 Cowboy Slots memberships. Bobby Earl, thank you so much. Yes, we will be having a member Monday. Guys, just to let you know, our membership program here on YouTube, there's a couple benefits with it. Number one, it gets you an extra live stream. We do a members only live stream on Mondays. It happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central. Our members love it. We have a lot of fun. Sometimes we'll sit here, we'll play games at the house, we'll play roulette, we'll do giveaways. We do all of that for our members on our Member Monday shows. So if you are interested, there's a link in the video description down below to sign up for the YouTube membership. It's 100% optional. The other benefit that you get is you do get to watch episodes early. So that's something cool. And that's actually thanks to this guy right here. Thanks to Ethan, because Ethan will get our videos posted up in the library. And then we actually release the videos early to the members. So the members actually get to watch the episodes before anybody else does. So that's another cool benefit that we have for our members. So thank you very much for that. All right. Let's see here. All right, gotta go through all these Super Bowl things here and get a find out some questions. Let's see. Nervy Odds has a question here. When a slot machine like Little Piggy, where they add wilds, is it really adding more wilds or is that just a gimmick? So here's the thing. It is adding wilds. It's not a gimmick. It is adding those wilds. But that virtual reel strip is very, very, very long and very, very detailed. So it's like, yeah, it might add a couple more wilds, like say, oh, we've added 20 extra wilds. Well, yeah, you've added 20 extra wilds to a reel strip that has 20,000 virtual positions on it. So it's adding them. I mean, it's legally correct, but you know, ho it's still hard to get. That's the problem. And again, it always depends on the game type too. Mandy says, "I appreciate your reviews and discussions about Wendover." Wendover was an amazing place. I had such a fun time there. Honestly, they have everything in Wendover that I like to enjoy and that I like to do in Las Vegas, and it's only 3 hours away from my house, whereas Las Vegas is 8 hours away from my house. So if I can go 3 hours and get all the same perks of Las Vegas, if I can get good food, free alcohol, you know, high limit machines, low limit machines, brand new machines, classic machines, if I can get all of that in one place and it's only 3 hours away, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna be going to Wendover a lot more. I had a lot of fun in Wendover. They were really, really great people there. So, had a lot of fun. All right. Oh, let's see. Proud Monkey says, didn't know was live until I got an email about gifted sub. Thank you, Bobby Earl. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Bobby Earl, for that. Really do appreciate it. Phil on Facebook asks, why does it seem that you can go to the slot floor and none of them are paying it, almost seems like they're controlling them with Ethernet cables from the main room upstairs. So that does not happen. Slot machines cannot be remotely controlled. It can feel like that sometimes. Yeah, it can feel like it, but it's not the case. That's not how slot machines work or how the programming works or the operations work. It's not even possible. So, rest assured that that's not happening. But you have to remember something. And this is a key thing that people forget. And it's funny because I'm gonna tell you a little story about this too. So when a casino is designed, when a slot machine is designed, they pull in the best psychological human behavior psychologists and researchers out there. They do so many case studies and everything, and they look at everything about what is going to keep players playing the most. And they will go through, and everything is extremely psychological because gambling plays with your brain. That is what gambling does. Gambling plays with a person's brain. It is very, very difficult for humans to understand randomness. It is very, very difficult for humans to not want to look for patterns or try to associate something. There's been so many studies done on this where someone goes into the casino and they're like, "Oh, I won. It must be because it was Friday, or it must be because the buffet was open, or it must be." No, you won because you got lucky, or they'll do the same when they lose. There's nothing special to it, but it's all very, very psychological. So sometimes, you know, can it feel like that? Can it feel like nobody's winning, or can it feel like everybody's winning but you? Absolutely, it can feel like that. That's a human feeling, but that's not the actual case of what's really going on. So, can it feel like that? Yes, but is it like that? No, slots are not controlled like that. All right. Hey, this is a good question. Longtime cruisers is asking, what is everyone's favorite slot machine? Mine is Wolf Run. So hey, you know what? Let's have some fun in this chat today. Type in what your favorite slot machine is. Type in what your favorite slot machine is. I might pull up a couple and we might talk about it a little bit. Let's see. And yes, thank you very much, Bobby Earl. Bobby Earl does have that posted up. Where will we be next? We do have an events page on our website, which is ropethejackpot.com/events. And we do post where we're going to be next. So if you are ever wanting to run into us or come up and say hi, check out our website because we do list out there. Anytime we plan on traveling somewhere, I will list it on the website. Spicy Ramen 602. Oh, there you go. Ramen. And they even says that they love ramen. Ramen is his favorite food. So, all right, cool. Spicy Ramen 602 says, I heard casinos don't have clocks because slots mostly hit jackpots on 11/11 every day. Is that true? JK. Thanks for the content. I appreciate it. Yeah. You know, casinos do a lot of psychological work, and not having clocks is one of them because they don't want people to focus on the time. Focus on just the machine in front of you. That's what they want. All right. All right. All right. Everybody's listing out their favorite slots here. So we'll have to pick up a couple of these machines here. We'll go through them. Actually, if one of y'all list a couple of slots, a couple slots that are have interesting backstories, I might pull those up and tell you the backstory of those slots. Let's see. Cheap slots and cheap gambling. Yes, you are 100% correct. The gamble feature is regulated by the jurisdiction. That is 100% correct. A lot of the features on machines can be turned off and on and off and on with things like the wager saver, stuff like that. Certain jurisdictions allow it, certain jurisdictions don't. There's a lot of features on there that certain jurisdictions allow and certain jurisdictions don't. You are 100% correct. Question for Ethan: what kind of software apps is your favorite to edit videos? What's your favorite software app to edit videos?
Favorite, let's see. I don't know. Oh gosh, I don't know things over first.
Dropping everything.
For favorite, I mean, my favorite current one obviously is Premiere, but I mean, it's just it gives me a lot of issues sometimes when editing. But one of my favorite ones to use definitely would be like, from what I've used to Final Cut, it's a lot of fun. I also really like Vegas. Basically, any editing software is fun, but my favorite software to use is probably After Effects because that's where you make a lot of the design elements and a lot of animations, and it just makes it a lot of fun.
Yep. Awesome. There you go. Hey, and it gave me the time to take a drink there. All right, let's go through some of these questions, some of these slots on here. Let's see. Oh, we're doing good on time. This is a good turnout, guys. Hey, let me know too in the comments if you actually like a Saturday show better, because maybe we'll start doing the real talks on Saturdays. Because this seems to be going really really good here on this show today. So appreciate it. Hey, we got a super chat here. $5. I followed your advice today. Bet 3 credits max on triple stars. Won 900 on my third spin. Thanks, Cowboy Slots. Hey, that is awesome. Triple stars. Well, I told y'all I'd tell you a story. Triple stars was the first ever slot machine that I ever purchased for myself was triple stars. And then when I had my shop, I ended up selling it, and I wish I didn't. I should have kept it. But yeah, that was the first ever slot that I purchased for myself. Valerie says, and thank you very much for your super chat, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Valerie says, what city is located and you can fly directly to Wendover Casino? You can fly directly into Wendover. I don't think there are very many flights anymore. There used to be a lot more flights before COVID, but Wendover does have an airport that you can fly into. The other thing, the closest major city to Wendover is going to be Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is not that far. Once you get to the Salt Lake City airport, it is a straight shot to Wendover. It's only about an hour from the airport. So you can fly into Salt Lake City, get you a rental car and go over there. All right. All right, let me look at some of these favorite slots here that you guys had got listed. And Bobby Earl, thank you so much for reminding people. Yes, we do try to get as many questions as possible, but obviously we got a busy stream. We got over 400 of you guys in here. So if it does get too busy, or if I miss a question or anything like that, check out our website. We got a free chat forum in there. Free chat forum on our website, which is ropethejackpot.com/chat. It's always free to use. And there's a lot of really good stuff on there too. So thank you very much. All right. Looking through some of these slots here. What's everybody's favorite slot? Everybody's favorite slot. Let's see. Got one on here for Dragon Link, Wicked Winnings. Wicked Winnings is a pretty fun one. Uh the fireworks slot. Yes, I can't remember. I can't for the life of me remember what that is called, the exact name of it, but I know which one you're talking about. It's pretty popular. Um, I know that one's been pretty fun. Dancing Drums Wicked Wheel, that's also a fun one. Hey, Thunder Cash is on here. Thunder Cash was the first ever Ainsworth must hit by Progressive that I ever played. Thunder Cash is a gateway drug. That's what it is. Thunder Cash is a gateway drug. All right. Wolf Run, that's a classic. I used to sell that in my shop. I did have a Wolf Run machine. Hey, Tom's on the same page as me with pinball. Mickey says 10 times pay. 10 times pay is a hard one to get. That is a hard one to hit on. It really is. It's that 10 times pay is a great example of a classic game that is also really high in volatility. That one is it is very, very difficult to get those tens to line up, but some people have had pretty good luck at it. They have. So maybe you've had good luck at it. But yeah, absolutely. All right. JJ says, candy bars. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to keep my eye out for it. And Don says, I love this show. Just found you today. Thank you, Don, and welcome. We appreciate having you here. Prosperity Link. That's a newer one. Prosperity Link is pretty cool. Obviously, when the hold and spin features first came out, like the Lightning Link, Dragon Link, stuff like that, um, those were kind of the first, first out of the gate. But there's been a lot of adaptations to it. Prosperity Link is one of them. Firelink is another one that has kind of adapted to take their own spin on things. And Prosperity Link is kind of cool because you can collect all the windows and keep moving up, kind of like what Firelink does. So it's kind of a healthy mix of everything. I like that one. I don't think we have a video on Prosperity Link yet. Maybe we'll have to do that. All right, let's see here. And Desert Diamond in Arizona does have some great paying machines. Yes, they do. Okay. Deb says, please explain how the tavern video gambling games work. So, tavern video gambling games. I'm assuming you're probably talking about the skill-based games because we have those here in the bars in Wyoming. There's a lot of states that have those. I know Pennsylvania has them too, where they have they're skill-based games. So those are essentially um, what you're doing is you are having to create you get dealt a puzzle. Like so, it's not a spin; it's a puzzle that you get dealt, and then you have to select a square to make it wild. Those are all pre-downloaded in a preset order, so you can actually preview what the next spin, so to speak, is going to be. It's kind of interesting. Um, it does have its own form of randomness, but it's not randomness as in it's generating randomness on the fly. It generated the randomness on the back end when it downloaded the packet onto the game. So they're different. Would I recommend like I wouldn't recommend playing them like a normal casino game. Don't sit there and dump a bunch of money into it, but you can still play it for fun and have some good luck with it. I've had good luck with some of those games because again we have them here in Wyoming, and I have had some good luck on it. Let's see. Grant says if you're driving to Wendover from Salt Lake City, there's basically nothing on the road once you past Thule. There is a single gas station and like two rest stops. I do love Wendover. That's true. That is true. 100% true. All right. Black Diamond and Triple Golden Cherry, both of those are good. Yes, they are. Tabasco is another good one. Man, we didn't do a video on Tabasco, but we played it a little bit in Wendover, and we got wrecked on that one. We didn't record it, but but when we go back, we'll have to record it, and even if we get wrecked, we're gonna have to post it because Tabasco is a pretty cool game. It's a pretty cool game. But yeah, it can be brutal. Tabasco is not exactly the lowest volatile game out there. I mean, it's not the highest either, but it's not the lowest. But yeah, Tabasco is a pretty good one. Let's see. Deb says the tavern games I'm speaking of is if you win, the bar pays you. Yeah, the bars will pay you on these games here too. I'm not exactly sure what state you're in, exactly, but here in Wyoming, we do have machines in the bars, and the bar is the one that pays that out too. One more jackpot says Brantley. Have you ever played the tax-free high limit edition slot machine? They have one at the Rainbow in Wendover. I had great luck on that one. I have played it once, but I've not really devoted much to it. So it is a good game to play if you've got a high bankroll. Again, if you're a high limit player, it is a good game to play. The only time I've played it has been at Aria, and it was in the high limit room, and I think I put like $200 in, and I was just like, "Hey, I'll see if I can get something in $200." Click, 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 didn't get anything and went on about my day. I didn't really sit there and, really devote a lot to it, but I will have to check it out. Maybe I'll go over there and check that out um, next time I'm over there. Vicky says, "Will you show us how to play the poker machines?" So here's the thing. Um, the video poker is the absolute best game that you can play in the casino. If you're playing a machine, video poker is going to be the best machine to play in a casino. Um, the problem with video poker is you've got to know proper poker strategy to really be successful at it. And that is not really my wheelhouse. I've played video poker occasionally, but normally it's like if I'm sitting there at the bar, if I go to Vegas and I sit at the bar and I'm like, I want to, drink some beers for free, I'll sit there and I'll toss like $100 in video poker and I'll play that a little bit. It's not really something that I find very exciting personally, me personally, even though it is a fantastic game to play. So it's probably not going to be something that we highlight really on this channel. Maybe we'll do a couple videos here and there in the future. I don't know. But it's really not anything that it's not really my cup of tea, so to speak. And I am by far not a expert on video poker in in the terms of playing it. I've programmed them before, I've set them up, but I've not actually like sat and like really learned all the intricate details of playing the game of video poker. So something for me. That's not really something that you know uh, interests me very much. Deborah on Facebook says, "Are you going to play the new NFL game?" So a lot of people have been playing this new NFL game. It's a rough one. I've seen a lot of people play it and play it and play it and not really have huge success on it. It's definitely a higher in volatility game. Um, I don't like the bonus on it. I don't like how the bonus plays. I don't like how the bonus feels. Me personally, I have not played it, but during G2E, I was hanging out with a group of friends, and we were at what casino were we at? The Venetian. I think we were at the Venetian, and um, a bunch of the guys were playing the NFL slot, and I was standing there with them just watching, and I was like, no, I'm not going to play, but I'll sit back, I'll have a beer, and I'll watch you play it. I did not like how that bonus played at all. I really didn't. It just wasn't my cup of tea, so to speak. All right. Mickey, I've never been to Laughlin. I've never been down to Laughlin. I do still have to go down there to check it out. All right. Top Dollar is a fantastic game to play. It is an awesome game to play. Um, when it comes to top dollar pinball, I prefer pinball. That's just me. Pinball is a harder bonus to get. It doesn't come around as often, but the bonus is better on pinball than top dollar. However, with top dollar, it has a little bit better chances of lighting up that 1,000 credits than you would of getting something huge in a pinball bonus. So, but me personally, I prefer pinball over top dollar, but top dollar is a fantastic game to play. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Laughlin slots don't pay out that much. Again, I haven't been to Laughlin, so I don't have any opinions on that. But always remember too that it's not where the slot machine is. That's the biggest thing. Everybody will go and they'll say, "Oh, well, this casino doesn't pay out" or something like that. And it's like, well, you probably just got unlucky that time, but you really need to focus on what your budget is and are you playing a machine that's right for your budget? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest mistake people make at the casino is they're not playing a machine that is right for their budget. It's not necessarily where the machine is at, but more so just where, you know, the game that you're playing for your actual budget. Going to take a couple more questions and then we'll round out our Saturday show. And thank you very much, Katie. If y'all like real talks on Saturday, let me know. Maybe it's something we'll start doing, or maybe we'll just start doing it just sometime in the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, whichever works. Next week we'll probably be doing it on Saturday as well. Um, Also, really good time to remind you guys, for those of you just coming in too, we have a brand new poker chip. It just came out today. It is the new Saddle Brown poker chip, and it even has this cool little wood background uh, printed on the chip. Really, really cool. If you buy one of the Here for the Bucks or the Rope the Jackpot T-shirt from direct from our website, so not through Spreadshop, but direct through our website, I will toss one of these in there for you. And those are for sale as long as or as well as I don't know why I keep saying that, as well as the new swag packs, there's new swag packs available. So those are in the shop right now, and all of those purchases do go to help out the channel. And hey, you get shirts and poker chips and all kinds of goodies. So be sure to check that out. Thank you very much, Cruising with Thomas, for putting that in there. The link is over there for cruising with Thomas. Put that in there. So thank you very much for that. All right. And yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Hey, while you are all watching this right now, everybody at the same time, go hit that like button. If you're watching on your mobile phone, all you got to do is swipe out of the live chat and you'll get that option to hit that like button. So do that for me if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much for that. All right. Bit Webster says, Brantley, what do you think about Regal Riches? I think it's a ripoff. I think Regal Riches is a ripoff. Now, some people have had good luck with Regal Riches, um, but there is a big confusion about the game. There is a huge confusion about the game because a lot of people say it's an advantage game because it says must hit buy. It is a must hit buy, but I'm going to explain this to you how Regal Riches actually works so you understand it. So this is something interesting. Um, let's compare Regal Riches has that must hit buy bonus. And we're going to compare that to, let's say, an Ainsworth machine with a must hit buy bonus. Well, on the Ainsworth machine, there is a calculated percentage rate. Every time that you hit that spin button, that meter is going up by that percentage rate based on what you're betting. On Regal Riches, it is must hit buy. Okay. We'll just get that out of the way. It is must hit buy. But is it an advantage? Absolutely not. Because the thing is there's not a calculated percent every time you're hitting that spend button, meaning that you could get, let's just say, for example, must hit by 75 wilds and you have 74. So in your mind, you're thinking, I'm one away. It's got to hit because it says must hit. I'm one away. Well, you're correct. You are one away, and it does have to hit by that 75, but it does not go up by a actual percentage amount. So you could sit there for thousands and thousands and thousands of spins and still sit there at that 74, or you could hit it on the next spin. So that's one of those things of on an Ainsworth must hit by progressive, it is adding up at a calculated steady percentage. Every time you hit the button, it's adding at a steady rate. Regal Riches does not add at a steady rate. So you can get all the way up to that almost must hit by number and you're one away and it could sit there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spins and never get it. And also there's that new Buffalo machine, the Buffalo is it Buffalo Ascension? It's the one where the reels grow, where the reels grow. It's the same way. You know how difficult it is, you like to get that the Super Stampede bonus, that middle reel on Buffalo. That reel will grow all the way to the top, and you're like, oh, I'm one away. I just got to get that one, and then I get the Super Stampede. Well, you could be sitting there for a long, long time, and you could be sitting there for hundreds and hundreds of spins. So Regal Riches is one of those things that, a lot of people, when I've talked about Regal Riches in the past, a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's an advantage game. It's an advantage game." No, it's not because it's not adding at a consistent rate. If it was adding at a consistent rate, then yes, there would be an advantage to it. Now, if it is one away, play it a little bit, but don't sit there and expect that last symbol to come up because it could never come. It could come 1,000 spins from now. You have no idea because it doesn't have that consistent rate. So always keep that in mind. So anytime somebody ever tells you Regal Riches is an advantage game, yes and no. Like, yeah, I guess like you could be close to that must like it will hit like eventually like it must hit, and they say that it must hit, but when it does, when that last symbol finally comes up, can be a very, very long time. So that's the thing about Regal Riches. That's what I don't like about it. And I do not like I really don't like when I hear people say Regal Riches is an advantage play game because really the thing is it's very gray. It's not a clear defined advantage. So just be careful when it comes to Regal Riches. And now you know exactly how the Regal Riches actually works. But and again, there's a lot of people that have had really good success with it. And Regal Riches is one of those games. It is designed for somebody with a higher budget. So if you go into the casino with, $100 and you want to play Regal Riches, you're probably not going to get very good hits. It's really one of those games that's made for somebody with a budget that can withstand all of those swings and those lengthy periods to reach those must hit by points. So if I go into the casino and I have 10 grand to spend on Regal Riches, then maybe I might be successful at Regal Riches. But if I go in with $20, I'm probably not going to be successful at Regal Riches. So that's one of those games too. Of it is designed for somebody with a higher budget. So, if somebody has a really high budget and they're playing Regal Riches, you can do good at it because that's what it's designed for. But aside from that, yeah, that's no. I know we went on a little tangent about Regal Riches, but now you know. Now you know. That's why I have an inherent problem when people say Regal Riches is an advantage play game because it's like, yeah, it says must hit by, but you really don't know how that works. Like you really don't know how that works, do you? Okay. So anyway, all right. I'm gonna take one more question, then we'll wrap up here. We went on a little tangent there. So hey, 4.99 super chat, perfect timing, Dan. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. On class two bingo, betting max lines. What is the advantage to betting multiple per line? Um, is it better to go up a denom max lines or play only one per line? So that's a pretty loaded question there. So the thing is, obviously, you always got to prioritize the budget. So if your budget allows to play more, then the recommendation is to play more. If your budget allows for that, if you can safely do it without losing your ass too much, then it is better to you know, play more lines or bet more per line. But on the bingo machines, so that's the thing with the bingo machines, you can win a lot more off of a bingo device betting a lower amount than you would at a normal slot machine. I have seen people playing 25-cent red screen machines and they have gotten jackpots of like $100,000. That is not possible on most slot machines where it's 25 cent, where it's a 25-cent denom. So with that, you know, betting max lines, what is the advantage to betting multiple per line? So obviously the advantage is going to be that you have the potential to win more win more out of that bet depending on what bingo numbers are being called. That would be the advantage to it. But is it better to go up a denom max lines? It is better only if your budget allows for it. That is the thing. Only if the budget allows for it would it be a better deal. So thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for your super chat. Guys, you guys have been wonderful tonight. I really do appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Please do not forget to go check out our new poker chips, swag packs. And if you buy one of those here for the bucks or the rope the jackpot t-shirts, I will toss one of these into your order. So be sure to do that. And yes, Member Monday for all of you members out there. Member Monday is still happening. We're going to do Member Monday and we might even do some giveaway, a little giveaway on our Member Monday deal too. So uh, if you're a member, be sure to join us for Member Monday. And thank you very much, Kevin. Yes, if I did not get to your question, I know sometimes I can go on a tangent. If I did not get to your question, we have a free chat forum that you guys can use. It's 100% free. You can even talk to other locals in your area, talk to them about happenings at your local casino, try to find those machines you're looking for. All of that, it's free to use. It's on our website at ropethejackpot.com. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining us here on this episode. The next live stream will probably be on Saturday again next week. I've got some things I have to take care of next Sunday. So it'll probably be on Saturday again next weekend. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you hit that bell to stay notified. And once again, please be sure to like this video. As always, best of luck, stay safe, and we will see you again next episode. Take care, guys.